First responders, we are discussing oxygen and electricity planning. It comes after a Lowndes County woman on home oxygen died after losing power. And joining us now is Mark Whiteside. Not only does he serve as the new Albany fire chief, but he is also the president of the Mississippi Firefighters Association. So welcome, Chief Whiteside. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well and glad to be here to help pass on this message.
And that message is so important. Now, last week you were actually in Meridian with other fire chiefs from across the state. When this topic came up for discussion, what did you learn?
Well, so I took the opportunity to talk to basically some fire chiefs from all over the state, and I had a concern that what would we do if the people on oxygen at home needed electricity, and so I took some input from them and learned that the best thing to do and some ways to help our citizens out, because our aging population is our responsibility, I believe.
And you know what, and to be honest with you, we may be all that they have when it comes to them seeking help. So right now, tell us some of the things that they can do right now.
Well, the first thing is pre-planning and being prepared. That's the first step. Before you have the emergency, make sure that that you can get the help you need. When you call 911, or if you need help and you dial your local emergency services, make sure that you tell them. Make sure that you tell them that that you're on oxygen. Make sure that you check with your electric company, because some electric companies also have a list, and a medical person or needs some help with medical, they may be a priority on their list to help get electricity back. But like I said, the biggest thing is the family is the first one to reach out to. Make sure your family knows that you're on oxygen, and the first thing to do, contact a family member and let them know that your electricity is out.
Now, when it comes to alternatives, do you know of any alternatives that people can use?
There are several alternatives. One thing is, if the electricity goes out, use a portable oxygen bottle. Have one or two of those, prepared to use if you need it. Contact the company that does that for you, and also let them know that you need them. And one thing that we thought about too was, vehicles have power inverters and also plug-ins. Also, the more advanced they get, the more they have. And so possibly you could use the power inverter from your vehicle until you can get some help, or plug that into your vehicle in some shape, form, or fashion. And also, they have medical alarms now. And I know several times we have calls where the medical alarm went off, and we would go check on the individual. So if you have that medical alarm in place that notifies 911 that there's an emergency to your residence, that could summons us there real quick.
And not only that too, make sure you have an emergency plan in place. It's so important to talk to your family members, also talk to your doctors, as well as fire EMS, as well as the police, because you are, after all, our first responders.
That's right. We call it community risk reduction, and that's the way we're headed in New Albany. And we want to make sure that any risk to our citizens, that anything we can do to reduce that risk is where we want to go. And to us, this is a very big risk.
Okay. All right then, Chief. Anything else you want to say before we let you go?
Just pre-plan. Have a plan in place before it happens. It's too late when the emergency's there. Have it ready to go before it ever happens. That's the best thing.
All right then, thank you so much, Chief, for joining us. Well, right now you're taking a live look